Welcome to my first drum tutorial video. I am a beginner drummer, caveat. So this is a beginner's video for beginners, and it's probably full of mistakes, but I just thought it was an interesting process to learn the song that I just learnt, and I thought I'd try and break it down and sort of share how I learnt it. The song is called When I'm Alone by Lissie, and this is the drum pattern. 1, 2, 4. So it sounds very straightforward, but it's got a few things in it that were sort of new to me, that I had to learn, like ghost notes and shuffles on the hi-hats and things like that. So I'm just going to teach you how to play it. Right, so we're going to start with a 4/4 backbeat. So that's bass drum on the 1 and 3, snare on 2 and 4, 8th notes on the hi-hat, which means 2 hits per beat. 1, 2, 1. Like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we're not going to do 8th notes on our hi-hat. The first change we're going to make to this, step 2, is we're going to change this hi-hat from 8th notes to triplets. So for each beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see I'm hitting it twice. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. We're going to change it so we hit it 3 times per beat. That's a triplet. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And in time, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's your first change. Make it a triplet beat. Whoops. And that sounds like this. So this is step 2. So for each step, the trick is to learn it at a slower speed that you can do it perfectly, and then increase your tempo using metronome. Increase your tempo by, say, 10 beats a minute until you can get to 120. So this song is at 120. Just doing that. So for the triplets, that's quite quick, so we might slow it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just slow it down till you can do it, and then when you can do whichever step is on this video at 120, move on to the next step. So the next step for this, step 3, we're going to remove the second hit of each triplet. So you've got triplet, that's how they say it. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to just do 1 and 3. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. This is what turns a triplet into a shuffle triplet, I think, which I think is really, really cool. The Rosanna track that I tried to learn, everyone knows that one, the shuffle, is similar. So now we'll do that with the kick and the snare. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's step 3. Get that to 120. I think there's the molar technique that you can look up and practice on this. So instead of just smacking the hi-hat 1 and 3 equally, bang, 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 you do a sort of flicky, wristy thing with your hand. So your first hit on the 1 is like sort of hitting it on the edge of the stick and the edge of the rim, and then you're bouncing up. You get sort of flowing thing. It doesn't sound so pronounced on the electric kit, but it makes it a bit simpler, a bit easier. It's different techniques to practice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get that to 120. If you need to start slow, start slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just build it up. So we got there. Now we go to step 4, adding ghost notes. So ghost notes are where you just basically let the stick fall very, very lightly onto the snare. Just almost like letting my fingers open a bit and just drop it really gently. Completely different for the hit. So we're going to do a ghost note on the second beat of the triplet. So if you remember in the last step, we removed the second beat from the hi-hat in the triplet. So we went from 1, 2, 3 to 1, 3. Now in that gap, we're going to add the ghost note. It's going to sound like this: 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you kept it going, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like that. So all your job is to control the bounce, not really trying to hit the snare. So we're nearly at step, what are we on? 4 now. But we need to get it into the count. So we've got 4 triplets per bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we're only playing the second note, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to have the ghost notes, but only on number 1, number 3, and number 4. So we're not going to add the ghost note on the second triplet. And it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can hear I'm not doing the ghost note on that second triplet. So that's kind of, I suppose that's sort of number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But it's kind of only 4.5 because the beat's not there. We haven't got the kick drum and the snare in yet. So I was always unsure whether to treat that as a separate step because it's a bit tricky. The kick drum's okay, so let's add that in on 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, do it slowly if you have to. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we have the snare. This can be a little tricky because you've got the snare coming in, which is a very different type of hit, very close to ghost notes. So the first time the snare comes in is on the second beat. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Remember, we don't do a ghost note on that second beat. And on the on the fourth beat, where the other snare drum hit is, it's like this. So you've got to do a snare hit and a ghost straight away afterwards. And so this is really cool, fun thing to learn. Like you're hitting the snare, and then you're letting it bounce really gently straight away afterwards. The bigger you can make that difference between the hit and the ghost in terms of volume, better. So if you put that together, it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. So hopefully you can hear the difference between the main hits and the ghosts and that ghost after the snare. So just work on it. Go slowly if you have to go slowly. So that's step 4 or 5 now. Maybe that's 4.5. That's 4. Let's just call it all 4. Doing those ghost notes with the snare kick. So now step 5, the final piece. We've got our main beat now. But we need to add the beautiful little touch that the drummer adds, where we're going to basically double one of those ghost notes, which means to hit it twice, 2 little quick bounces instead of 1. And it comes in on the 4th bar, after that one. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. That one. That is instead of, it's going to become. Do you hear the difference? So instead of, it's going to be. So you basically, you're still. If you imagine the triplet is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to add a little extra beat in between the 2 and the 3. So 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Sorry. 1, 2, and 3. 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 So just do it slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3. And it is important that you get that ghost note double starting on the 2. So 1, 2, and then you get those double ghost notes in before that number 3 on the hi-hat. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. When you start playing it faster, if you haven't done this and done it slowly to get it in the right place, then it'll just become a bit messy because it's so quick, the beat, that double can sound a bit all over the place. But that is when it starts. The double is on the 2 of the triplet. Right, so that's it. So at full speed, it's like this. You hear the double? A few people I've seen online doing covers of this. There's only a few others. And sometimes that ghost note isn't quite in the right spot. I'm not an expert. I just think that's right. And the way I figured that out was by using an app that slowed down the beat really slowly. You can hear exactly where that ghost happens. Slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back up speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I mean it, like, go slowly. Start slow. Add 10 beats a minute. 80, go to 90, then go to 100, then go to 105. You know, creep it up to 120. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the whatever this is video. Bye.